So, big surprise, I'm lost again. You know, I really wanted to make videos with my new camera and everything, but I just need to face it. It's a lot easier to talk from the heart when you can just not focus on how things look, how the shot is, how I look. And it takes way too much effort for something where I just want to sit down and have an honest chat. I used to make a lot of these types of videos, or these video logs. A couple years ago, it was a lot like my diary, my journal, and I would look back on them and see how far that I've come, how I saw things then, and reflect on how I see things now. And it's rare when I do it, but when I remember that I still have those in the files buried in my computer, sometimes I look back on it and it's so weird that when I was in a relationship that was wrong for me, even though I didn't know it at the time, I felt in my heart, for some unexplainable reason, that if I moved further in that relationship, that so many opportunities would be closed off from me, and I would live a life that I didn't want. I couldn't explain the way I was feeling, because I was in a relationship with somebody that I did really love, and somebody I truly cared about. But for some reason, I felt like it was a cage. Now, I never would have explained it that way, but I said myself, if I had moved in with him, because he really wanted me to, if I had ever moved to Orlando, the city outside of where I live, and I just knew that I would live just working a normal job and forever wondering what could have been. That all the opportunities that could have been waiting for me, I would never be able to reach. Now maybe it was because I was moving to a different town and I didn't know what to expect, but I felt it in my gut. And I really wished that I had listened to myself more. When I was doing tarot, I still do tarot today, not as often, but I still do tarot cards. The cards always told me that I need to listen to my intuition, that my higher self had all the answers already, and that I didn't need to ask them, but I was in constant denial because I was afraid of losing somebody that I loved so much, who had given me so much, who I was so far invested into, and that fear kept me holding on until I was at my breaking point. But I just found that really interesting. So I really notice a trend whenever I'm feeling lost. I always go back to those vlogs. I don't really know what I expect to find. I asked myself a little while ago, let's simplify things a little bit. If I were to simplify things, what's my priority right now? What is something that I am working towards right now? Well, I am working towards paying off the debt that I owe my parents. And then I asked myself, okay, after you pay off that debt, then what's next? Well, I save up my money. Okay, then what? and I paused. I wasn't really sure where I was going from there. I mean, my current boyfriend that I have now, we've been in a relationship for 2 years, and we want to move out together, but he still has debt he has to pay off as well. And there's so many factors, you know, keeping us at home, because it's so comfortable here, and it gives us more time and more freedom to work on the things that we're passionate about. And he hopes to be a successful magician and make a living off of that, and me, I don't really know. I love to sing, and I also used to be very passionate about acting as well. But the only thing I know to do is to share my music on YouTube. And let's face it, I'm not very passionate about making videos themselves. I'm pretty sure you've seen, I'm very lazy with them, and I've tried looking into other programs and whatnot to try and make my videos a little bit more interesting, because, you know, I see Lian Li creating all these fancy things, but she has so many people working for her, and editing and mixing and doing the art, doing the video. All she has to do is basically sing, and she's got everything laid out for her. I don't know, it wasn't always like that, but I don't know, I just find myself trying to find something that I can excel in, that I can make money with. That's my goal. That is what I think is going to make me finally satisfied and finally happy. As long as I just find something that I can make money off of, make a living off of, more specifically, and it's something that I love. That's all I want. So that's why YouTube is like the only thing that I'm really doing right now, because I don't know what else to do. I don't have an amazing voice. I don't have unbelievable range. People tell me that I'm capable of so much more, but I don't believe it. I know my limitations, and my voice, it's for a specific audience, and that's why YouTube is so great, because I can find that audience that does enjoy the way that I sing and my lyrics, and are okay with the way that I have my videos, and they still enjoy it, and they still get something from it. And that makes me so happy. It makes me happy that my videos and my lyrics touch people's hearts, make people cry, and help them in ways that I would never expect. And that is fulfilling in a certain way, definitely. But I can't deny that I want more than that. And maybe I shouldn't. I mean, maybe I should just be content working a part-time, maybe one day a full-time job, and then on my downtime just creating music and not really, maybe I'll never make any living off of it. Maybe it'll just be forever a hobby. But it almost feels insulting to call it that, a hobby. Yeah, I mean, acting and, you know, I sing and I write lyrics, you know, just as a hobby. It kind of breaks my heart a little bit. Because I've had such big dreams and hopes for myself, and people around me have had such big hopes and expectations of me that, like, I would go to college, or I would become a superstar or a famous actress or whatever. My family would always tell me that that's what they saw me doing when I grew up. But I have, like, no direction. And when I was in middle school, I had, like, reason to believe that. I had reason to believe, yeah, I could do whatever I want. And, you know, back in the days when YouTube was still kind of fresh and everything, it was so much easier for yourself to grow your channel and for people to see you, because the market was so much smaller. But now it's like I couldn't grow up fast enough to catch up with what the rest of the world was doing, and suddenly all my dreams have crumbled beneath my feet. And now I'm stuck in the middle of nowhere, wondering what the heck happened, and now what do I do? It's not even feasible for me to live on my own. It's not realistic to expect that I'm gonna find a job where I can fully support myself comfortably. It's just not realistic. It used to be back then. It used to be kind of realistic back then, definitely. But now, I'm like grasping at straws. I look at idols, and I see the people who cosplay, and yeah, I used to really like cosplaying and stuff, but it's such an expensive hobby, and it's, oh gosh, so much goes into everything. Like, I thought about modeling, but I'm not motivated to get healthy or work out, even though, you know, I'd like to, of course, but I'd need to save up money for a photographer, and then find a photographer, and then I don't know how any of that stuff works, and I've thought about trying to, maybe I can market myself as some kind of YouTube dancey J-pop idol, because, you know, there was a YouTube Becky Cruel who suddenly blew up and was able to go to Japan and stuff because people saw her videos, but that again, that was back then when YouTube was smaller and still fresh and cool. I could go on and on. I feel distraught, let down, disappointed, lost, constantly. It's just like, it always comes back to that. Like, I'll go through periods of motivation, and then I'll just come back here, in this room. Wondering, what the heck am I doing? I tried to make a video a couple days ago where I was just venting, but I ended up in a bunch of tears. Ugly crying. I was straight out of the shower. I didn't have any effort to doll myself up for that video, but I was just crying. And I was like, I can't put that up. I'm even doubting putting this up. I'm like, how do I want to present myself to the world? And I don't even know if I should care at this point. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if my singing is just going to forever be a hobby. If acting's just forever going to be a hobby. Singing is the only thing that I've ever feel inspired to do and feel a push to do. But I can't process the thought of ever becoming anything with it. And messages all around me tell me to believe in myself. Just believe in yourself. That's what I'm looking at right now. There's this little gift saying believe in yourself, and those are pictures of me and my boyfriend from a year or so ago. Believe in yourself and all will be fine. Just believe in yourself. Keep going, keep striving, but I don't even have a direction. How do I keep going if I don't even have a direction? Like all I know to do is YouTube. That's it. That's all I know how to do. And now this is a 15-minute video of me just rambling on. I just don't know where else to turn. I don't know what to make of myself. I don't have people in my life that really inspire me. I don't have friends. I never really feel the need for friends. I have my significant other, and he fulfills all of those needs. I don't feel like I have time for friends. If I even find anybody who somewhat relates to me, who likes the darkness like I like, who likes anime like I like it, who's passionate about music or acting or just something, somebody I could share things with, and that's what I had with Shion. And Shion is the one that I wrote You're Irreplaceable about. Shion was the bestest friend that I could have ever asked for. Don't get me wrong. We had severe falling outs. We both made major mistakes and messed up really bad with each other. But we always came back together because we realized how important each other was. That you don't find somebody like that who's so much like you. We would call each other Twinny because we even dressed alike. We liked the same things. We had the same thought processes almost, and even though we both had our different things, like she was super into her art and her gorgeous stories, and I was more into singing, into acting, and stuff like that, but we both bonded over anime, and we shared Love Live, the anime Love Live together, and we would always go to conventions together when we could and cosplay together. She was also a very spiritual person, and I was a very spiritual person, and we would have these abstract, crazy ideas and never be afraid to talk about anything we could and whatever we wanted. And she was just a friend that met all of my needs. And of course we had our troubles because we were both growing and interesting individuals. And then I lost her. But it was agreed upon. She felt an anxiety having me in her life because of a way that I messed up in the past, and she felt like she needed to end our friendship so that maybe she could finally be free of any kind of anxiety or anything that was possibly holding her back, and I knew she needed that, and I gave her all of my love and support about that. But I still miss her and I still love her so much, and it sucks because I know that I'm never ever gonna find any friend like her ever again. I'm not gonna find a friend like that. I don't know how to... When I care about somebody, I care about them so much. I think I'm a very selfish person. Because I don't like doing anything that gets in my way, you know? I don't like going out of my way for people, you know, or whatever, if I'm not really close to them. And her, I would wake up in the middle of the night just to drive to her to make sure she was okay. I would have done that if she had needed me to. I stayed up very, very late nights just to talk to her and to make sure that she was okay when she was venting or she needed somebody, even though I had work super early that morning and I was probably only going to get 3 hours of sleep, but I didn't care because I loved her. She was one of those friends, one of those people that I would do almost anything for. Now she's gone. was another person in my past who I met online, and I fell in love with him. But we were bestest friends before those romantic feelings happened, but again, he had to leave my life too, but for very clear and understandable reasons. But maybe I'm just tired of finding amazing friends and getting close to people, all for them just to eventually go out of my life. All the close friends that I've ever made in my entire lifetime have left my life. It's exhausting, hurting, hurtful, depressing. Why even bother anymore? I mean, like, it's not that I don't want friends. It's not that, like, I don't have people that I genuinely care about today. Like, I have people that I'm just like, yeah, I consider them a friend and I care about them. But I wouldn't, like, shun people. I won't shun people if I happen to get along with them or whatever. It's very rare when I'm actually very personal with people. When it happens that I make a deep friendship and connection with them. But I just don't look for it. I don't expect it, and I don't really try anymore, I guess, to make deep friendships. Life is exhausting and it feels too overwhelming, I guess. I'm trying so hard not to cry. This video didn't become what I wanted it to be. But whatever, Maybe it's just one of those things that's pointless to try, and I'm sick of trying. I'm sick of it. Because who cares, right? Who cares? Who fucking cares?